Alrighty. Now let's see if this one goes any differently. It may not, but then again it may. You don't know until you try, right? You don't know until you try. Oh, I suppose that's the train. There's a train. I hear that train a-comin'. It's rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since, well, I don't know when. Hi, Virgo lady. Yes, all is good. All is good with me. Yes, very much. A streamy from Phoebe. I saw you in in the other one. I saw you for a minute, but I'm glad to see you migrated over to this one mighty quick. Does that mean the algorithm's going to promote my shit this time? We're both Virgos, Virgo lady. I feel like you might be the person I talked to about that one time, though. Working 2 jobs at once? Jesus Christ, Aria, that's so much. How are you doing that? How does that work? Eh. No! You know what? I think the cut probably still looks more fashionable than the fucking Band-Aid. So we're just going to pitch this bandage. Oh, stream mod and normal job. Okay. Well, that makes sense. That tracks. Who you got, Patriots or Seahawks? Oh, shit. I didn't actually look up anything about the game before I started. Patriots or Seahawks? I don't know. Which of them has the hotter quarterback? Because I don't have like an alliance to either of those teams. So maybe that's a terrible reason to choose a given team, but you know. Damn. Even that is pretty much out. Everyone liked the stream. Cut looks badass. What? Oh, the cut on my chin? It does not look badass. It looks bad. Period. Not badass. I'm going to be fussing over it. Oh my god, I just need to not think about it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, by the way. Every single time you hit that like button is another chance to send the stream out to even more people, which increases the quality of your viewing pleasure by increasing the number of people who can engage in the chat. You know the rule. Oh wait, I don't need to increase in volume because the mic comes with me. I forget. I have a lapel mic, so I probably just screamed into your ear there. I'm really sorry about that. I apologize. That was wrong of me. That was very bad. Very bad. What happened to your chin anyway? I've told the story so many times at this point. It's basically like the brand of razor that I usually shave with does not normally have like one of those back blade razor things on like a straight edge. Like, I don't know. Some razors, they seem to have like one part on the reverse side that's got like a straight razor portion. I don't know how else to put it. That's like for finer detail work or whatever. And yeah, like I didn't know that my brand of razors started including those and I caught myself on the downstroke. This was yesterday. You can see how badly it's healing. I mean, it's not infected or anything. I cleaned it out good, so saved there. But you been to Britain or want to go? I live in Lancashire. I've always wanted to go to Britain. Yeah, I've always wanted. Plus, it would be a great excuse to be able to go to Ireland and Scotland as well. I mean, I get UK includes Northern Ireland and Scotland anyway, but I'd like to visit all the regions. Hello, how is your day going today? It's been okay. I had to restart the stream because it seemed like there was like maybe some technical issues going on, and hopefully this version of the stream works a little better, and hopefully the chat's a little higher quality too. But yeah, I basically cut my chin on a razor that had a feature added to it that I was not accustomed. I mean, I guess I'm used to it, but I'm just not used to it being on my brand of razors. Once again, I keep, wanting to fuss with this because I'm like worried. Are you trans? Yes, I am a trans woman. Yes. You know what? It's just red. It's not actually bleeding. It just seems like it's bleeding, but it's not actually. It's fine. I just need to stop worrying about it. It's chill. It's cool. I'd like to visit USA one day. Yeah, I mean, the USA is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. The United States of America is one of the most beautiful countries out there. It sure is. But man, right now might not be the best time to be here if you're not from here. I got to be real with you. Even those of us who are from here are like struggling to like prove ourselves to ICE sometimes. So I look so beautiful. Aw, ultrasonic. Flattery will get you nowhere, but thanks. Do you believe in God? No, not really. Did you chop it off? Consider for a moment if this is a question you would ever ask to another human being if you were just sitting next to them at the bus stop. I want you to really think about that for a second. I don't think it is. For sure, I know what you mean. It's not great here either at the moment. That's what I hear. But you know what's funny is despite all the political turmoil, I still want to go, I don't know, man. I think a little bit of what we're both experiencing is probably just a little bit of grass is greener syndrome. Listen, we'll both get to visit our respective countries someday. If you do get to visit the United States, you got to see the Southwest. Like I would tell you, divide your time evenly, right, between the Southwest, the Northeast, and then 3 other places. So in thirds, but really one of the thirds is divided itself into thirds. And then, visit New Orleans to get a taste of the South, visit St. Louis to get a taste of the Midwest, or maybe Chicago would be a even better one. And then maybe visit like somewhere in the Pacific Northwest to get a taste of that out there. And if you go to all those places, like I said, you spend like, the ideal vacation would be a week in the Northeast and then a week in the Southwest, and then 2 days in the Pacific Northwest, 2 days in the Midwest, and then 3 days in the South. That would be ideal, but it'd be like a 3-week long vacation. So, of course, I hear Europeans are more used to that kind of thing than we are over here. Yeah, Disney, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. While you're in the Southwest, you can go to fucking Disneyland or whatever it is, whichever the one in California is. You get to see California and you get to fucking experience Disney. Look at that. Can you go over the pride flag and explain what all the colors mean and represents for educational purposes? I'm genuinely curious. I unfortunately can't tell you what the colors of the regular gay flag mean because I don't remember what all of them symbolize. I can tell you that the brown and black stripe represent solidarity with Black liberation and the liberation of people of color broadly. And it represents the intersectionality of queer issues and race issues. The stripes back here are representative of the trans community, of which I'm a part. The pink represents trans feminine, blue represents trans masculine, and white can be said to represent genderqueer people or agender people, or just, like if you want to look at them conceptually, you translate that into the language of concepts rather than people. But I think that's it. That's really all I can cover because I don't remember what the colors of the actual old style gay flag represent. I don't remember. I used to know, but I don't remember anymore. If God show himself, would you believe in him? Sure, but I think I'd have to at that point, right? But I would also need some more proof than just me. Like, no, if God showed himself to just me, I would think I was hallucinating. I've done a lot of hallucinogens in my life, and I would just assume, like, oh, I'm having an acid flashback. Would you look at that? In general, though, that flag represents equality. Yes, it represents equality. Um, it's a standard that anyone can bear who is interested in queer people being represented and equal to straight people. Where's the straight representation at? Look literally anywhere in the media. Look literally anywhere. It's all over the place. Literally, like just look at Lord of the Rings. Where's the straight representation at? I'm pretty sure there's a straight relationship in Lord of the Rings. Pretty sure. Arwen and Aragorn? Yeah. Pretty sure that's a straight relationship. Look at when Harry met Sally. I'm pretty sure Harry's a man and Sally's a woman. In fact, I think they're both cis people. So it's even straighter. As it turns out, you don't actually need a representation movement for something that already represents the normative um, standard for society. POV, my 600-pound live stream. You know Pumpkin Slayer is a fat ass, dude. Pumpkin Slayer, nothing says you're a fat ass like my 600-pound life references. The only people who watch my 600-pound life and like it are fucking fat people that are watching it to think about how funny it is that there are fucking people fatter than they are. So some people are so disrespectful in chat. The majority of people are disrespectful in chat. By the way, make sure you guys hit that like button. It really does help. Every single time you hit that like button is another chance to send the stream out to more people, which increases the quality of your viewing pleasure. By increasing the number of people, you can engage in the chat down below. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to have a conversation here. Trying. W rage bait. Dog, I vape too. Nothing wrong with it. I don't give a fuck of what. Like I don't even know why people comment on the vape thing. When I was like a teenager, or like even just like younger in general, even when I was in my early 20s, nobody commented on that. Like I didn't start smoking until I was like smoking tobacco until I was like 23. I didn't start smoking cigarettes regularly until I was like 23 years old. And in my early 20s, I can't remember ever commenting on a single human being's use of tobacco ever in my life. How do you actually subscribe just because you want to hate that bad? Because they want to hate me, because they want to interact with me and get attention from me, but they don't want their girlfriend to take their phone and see that they're being nice to a trans woman. Literally it. They desperately, they want attention from me. They want to ask difficult questions that they can't ask Google without getting caught by their wife. But they don't want their girlfriend or their wife to walk by pick up their phone to call a grocer and see that they're being nice to a trans woman. So instead, they have to disguise it. They have to put on this fucking whole show of being super hateful and bigoted. I really do think that that's responsible for a lot of the hateful comments that happen in chat. Now, some of it's just Bangladeshi bots and Pakistani bots and shit. It was revealed a few months ago that there is a massive preponderance of bot activity on the internet, mostly being, and especially affecting like political content, and it's mostly coming from paid bot farms in India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Now, watch all the shit stirrers get really fucking mad now and complain about racism. MAGA cares about that? Really? Your president just posted a video of the Obamas as monkeys. I don't really think you guys care about that. So watch how many people are about to scream racist because I said that. My vids are amazing. Aw, thanks, Carson. I don't think I worked that hard on them, but I am trying my best. I'm trying to get better. God, please show Phoebe that you're real, please. I don't think he's gonna do it, bruh. I've asked this direct question of the universe before in pleading terms. What are you talking about? I don't think we're talking about anything just yet. But one of the things I did want to talk to you guys about was, did you guys hear what the U.S. team for the Winter Olympics was saying when asked? You know, the standard questions you get asked as, I guess, part of the process of coming out. I don't know. I didn't watch the fucking ceremony. I just read the news article about what they said. So they were talking about how representing the United States is very difficult this year because it feels like they're representing something that's kind of toxic and tainted, and there's a lot of really nightmarish stuff happening back at home. These are not people we typically think of as like super political people. You know, like athletes are just generally not that politically interested. Not universally, but you know, like there's a reason why there are so many apolitical people in America, and it's because there are tons of people with interests that don't involve politics. And for a lot of those people, fitness might be that interest, right? Now, obviously, there's tons of people who are into both. I'm not saying there's not, but when I think of like really dedicated athletes, I don't typically think of a super political person. So to me, this represents a median voter kind of indicator, like a regular person kind of indicator. This is how the average American probably feels about their country right now. Nah, man, not feeling it. I may slay pumpkins, but you're built like the largest pumpkin. Man, that was hilarious. Do you believe the LGBT movement is as important as the civil rights movement, since you said both was promoting equality? I think that the LGBTQ rights movement is a continuation of the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement, like if you read the writings of Martin Luther King Jr., Martin Luther King Jr. was interested in more than just black liberation. Yes, that was a primary driving motivator of his activism, but MLK Jr. was a socialist. He wanted to see the liberation of the working class as a whole from the chains of the capitalists. He wanted to see liberation of individual racial groups from the chains of racial prejudice and hatred that had dogged them throughout various chunks of American history, to various degrees in American history, I mean. So, I mean, even the original civil rights movement, like, it's a natural consequence of giving people more civil rights and allowing your society to be rightfully more liberal, more more tolerant. It is a natural it's a natural outcome of that you would have more acceptance for queer people, because they are just another fucking thing about humanity that has been accepted or not accepted to various degrees throughout various times in human history. Anorexic people watch that show? Yeah, okay. That's not 100% wrong, actually. You're right. Like, You're right about that. A lot of people with weight problems, like in terms of not being able to eat, not wanting to gain any weight because they're super like eating disorders, they are also turned on to that show too. But I will say this, I'll say this much in my defense, okay? I, in my personal life, have not met many skinny people that watched my 600-pound life. But I do recognize that it's like an anecdotal thing, because I have, on the one hand, had my anecdotal experiences, but I've also seen like the activity of some people online and been able to tell that among certain fitness circles, it's also pretty fun to hate on fat people and to like, goad yourself with fear over the prospect of gaining weight. So my 600-pound life is not about making you feel good. It's about fucking shaming you. It's not about making anyone feel good. Those are not feel good stories. Most of them fucking fail. It's literally, it's not meant to make you feel good. It's not fucking feel good porn. It's fucking like, it's suffering porn. People watch My 600-Pound Life either because they are terrified of gaining weight themselves or because they're already a fat ass, but think it's really funny and hilarious to watch someone that's way fatter than them because they can look at that and be like, at least I'm not that. It's the at least I'm not Brett Keane principle that drives it when it comes to fat people that watch that show. But none of it's meant to be feel good. It's not a it might be a TLC show, but it is not a TLC show. You know what I mean? It might be on TLC, but it ain't a fucking TLC show. Considering I weigh less than half of 600 pounds, no, I don't think I'll ever appear in my 600-pound life. Thanks for asking, though. I know it's the most interesting question that anybody can conceive of as our world burns and the president literally announces plans to steal the midterm elections. But no, I'm not going to go on your favorite stupid reality show about making you feel good about your fat ass or your fucking tiny, unable to eat ass. Oh, what I'd do for the fucking average voter in this country to give a fuck about anything important. It made me feel good with an eating disorder. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it should. Like, how did it make you feel good? Like, most of those people fail in their weight loss journeys. Like, the vast majority of my 600-pound life appearances end with, well, they got a little bit more able to fucking do stuff, but there's still a long way to go. And then you check back up on them in fucking 6 months, and they're just as big as they ever were. It's like, there's this one episode that I think is super emblematic of that, right? Where there's this dude who was an owner operator of his own trucking company for a long time, and he got so gargantuanly fat that he couldn't fit in his own fucking truck anymore. And the benchmark that him and the doctor are aiming for is for him to be able to get in his truck and work again. And I remember very vividly this part at the end where they try to fit him in there. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like trying to shove an entire stack of fucking Waffle House waffles into a little wine, like a little paper bag for a wine bottle. And he kind of like flops out of it, And that's how the episode ends, basically, is with the doctor and him saying, Oh, I feel good. I can walk again. That's pretty good. So at least that's something. Still got a really long way to go. So I just don't know how the show makes people feel good. I'm sorry. If I'm being insensitive, whatever. I'm fat enough to do it. Did you fall down, Phoebe? Sure. Sure. Show the whole fit? All right. I don't know how I can do this, though. Really? Here we go. I guess I can kind of do it like that. There you go. By the way, donations have been super anemic tonight, so while I'm showing off the fit, if anybody would like to support the channel, this is a completely audience-supported channel. I don't have any personal conversations with any advertisers. I don't have any sponsors or anything like that. So if you would like to contribute to this channel's continued existence, if you would like to make sure that there's still a channel here next month, next year, next decade, consider super chatting or donating via the Cash App link or cash tag down below. Here's a good look at my back patch if you couldn't see it. Give me 1 second, guys. You know, it's a feature I really love about humanity, that there are just some people that have nothing better to say but bitching. In fact, I think that's a lot of people. But like, I'm more open about it than most people. Most people like to be like self-righteous about it, whereas I'm just like openly bitchy and like openly complainant. But most people are just like full of nothing but vitriol and annoyance and anger and dissatisfaction. It's the only thing they know. It's the only language they speak. I've gotten so used to that. That's probably why I can tolerate these so much. It's all the parents' fault. So sad. Praying for you. Thanks for the fucking $2. I appreciate it. Your jacket looks cool. I like the patches. Thank you. I like them too. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it took me a long time to sew all this shit together. So it's always nice when that work is appreciated. These always take like fucking 5 minutes a piece to install. So it's just nice to have some recognition there. You're also trans? Well, welcome to the clutch. Clutch. Some people use others' shame to uplift their self-esteem, so it is basically a feel-good show. Yeah, but I'm saying it shouldn't be. I'm saying that's wrong of people. I do it too, and it's wrong of me. You know? It is what it is, I guess. Ultimately, I've got no moral condemnation for people that watch the show. I think it's emblematic of something fucked up in our culture. If the Epstein files making George Bush and Kanye West look like the good guys, I don't know about that. What exactly is in the Epstein files that makes George Bush look like a good guy? The Kanye West thing, I kind of get. I don't want to talk too much about it, but, on some level, I understand. Here's the thing I want to say: the Jewish people are not responsible for the fucking activities of Israel, no matter how many fucking Jewish supremacists might come out in the Epstein files. Having met one Jewish family that wasn't a Jewish supremacist family, I know there must be others out there, and therefore I know it is not the entire religion nor the entire race of people. But it is kind of hilarious to think that Jeffrey Epstein was indeed. After all this, after all the arguments I've made about, people's character and all this, I wouldn't, if you had asked me, are there any actual Jewish supremacists? I would have been like, yeah, sure, maybe some IDF soldiers, or like maybe, Itamar Ben Gvir. I don't know. Sure. But would I have guessed that any of them touched the real halls of international power? Nope. In fact, I would have suggested it was an anti Semitic conspiracy to even say such a thing a year ago. Now I really don't know what to say to those people anymore, other than, well, it's not the whole fucking people, so can we still stop being racist, please? It's because you're a good person, Phoebe, and you don't like to watch people being shamed. Yeah, I don't. It's not my fucking thing, man. Like, I will occasionally watch some, like, lol cow content or whatever, but I always feel like there's some kind of thing to, like, with me, I try to apply some basic morality to it. Like, I don't watch Cyrax because I think Cyrax largely can't help it. I don't watch fucking Christian because I don't think Christian can largely help it, right? But Boogie, Boogie is fucking making money off of his fucking shenanigans. Boogie knows full well what he's doing. Boogie's putting on a show. Wings. Wings knows what he's doing. He's putting on a show. Um, Review Tech USA. Richard fucking Masucci knows what he's goddamn doing, okay? I don't buy it. I like they're all too smart for me to like when so I guess I'm okay with people being shamed if they're being shamed for moral failings. I am okay with people being shamed if they're being shamed for moral failings of an egregious and harmful sort, I guess. I have less of an appetite for that the more sociological, I guess, the phenomenon they're being shamed for is. Like, I wouldn't like a show that's about shaming people with anorexia either. Nor do I like that Hoarders show. I mean, I guess I am kind of fascinated by the stories behind Hoarders, but I would really rather, like, you know, I just wish that all of those shows were just like a 5 minute montage of not even 5 minutes, like a 2.5 minute montage of like, how dirty it was, and then like the other 25 minutes is like a long interview and a game plan as to how they're going to stop and kind of like how they started hoarding in the first place. It's like a big long therapy session that we get to watch as a thing. That'd be uplifting. That would be feel good content, but that's not what Hoarders is. It's like you get that, but you get it with this 25-minute long deep dive into that garbage that's been piling up in their house for the last 30 years. And like a whole big implicit chunk of that content is meant to shame these people for being who they are, ending up the way they did. Appearing offline does not do shit. Banning anybody gives me advice. Ban wings and no hope of redemption. Interesting to hear your perspective on the topic of lolcow content, considering you're a lolcow. Wrong. Lolcows are picked up by some larger creator and made fun of to the tune of thousands of dollars. I am not being made fun of to the tune of thousands of dollars. Wish I was. Wish I could get some of that lolcow money flowing my way, but I have not picked up Keem's attention yet. I guess I haven't said enough absurd things. Although I did say that undocumented immigrants should get 2 votes for every migrant, or for every conservative vote on the earlier stream. But I think everybody knew I was rage baiting. And I clarified that I was after I said it. One good use of AI is it helps me find shows I like because it can point me towards more human-focused narratives, and I found really cool things to watch that way. Oh, 100%. I have always been a big defender of the idea that AI as a technology, like there's pros and cons to it, like every technology, and that ultimately it can be used for good things. I'm actually working on a video script right now. Well, not right now. I've taken a pause on it to work on other things, but um, I have this script in my back pocket that I'm working on about how I envision this crazy futurist utopia that is predicated and built on AI, that is set up and established in a way that is way more human and way more natural. But, um, without even going into that, like, there are lots of things you can do with AI that are cool, that aren't necessarily like stealing people's artwork or making like hoaxes up or whatever. That's not the real definition of a lol cow, though. Yeah, what is the real definition, M. Gibson? I make hella sampled beats, so I don't give a fuck about stealing art. See, I don't have any problem with sampling, and I think the reason for that is because, like, if you take a sample, usually it's distinct enough that you can hear the song already. Like, you can tell exactly where it came from. Whereas, here's the thing. I'm of two minds about AI art. On the one hand, I think it should be around. I think it should be allowed to exist. But on the other hand, I do think that creators should be getting paid for their creations that are being used to fund a commercial enterprise. I think that artists should be paid. I just do. I think that artists should be taken care of. So it's a sticky subject. I think the artists have a point when they say that the generative AI model is kind of predicated on just mass scraping of their work, and they're not attributed even, much less paid for their contribution. I do think that like some kind of remuneration, is that how you say it? Remuneration? I don't know how you actually say that word or which one I'm even trying to use in this context. I think that they should get, paid for that. I think that they should be attributed. Like, it would be really nice whenever AI creates an artwork, if it was required to give you a little file alongside your thing that lists exactly what sources they pulled from. Like, what were your inspirations here? What files and what artists? Even if it was just what artists. Artists want people to appreciate their art primarily, but it's cool to eat. I just want ham and chicken and bananas. Well, I want to appreciate artists' art as well, which is why I would like attribution in addition to them getting paid. Because I think that AI can do beautiful things with art, but I think that attribution is still key. Because AI would have no sense of art direction at all if we hadn't provided, not we, I'm not an artist, I'm a musical artist maybe, but I'm not a visual artist. But visual artists have provided the entirety of the basis for their existence. Be straight, steal art. I don't like this. I don't know. Someone who is funny to laugh at based on their words and actions without understanding that about themselves. Okay, so I realize that I'm absurd, and I like the fact that people laugh at me because it makes me feel like I'm getting attention. and attention is something I value because I'm kind of an attention whore, and I purposefully will wear different outfits or say things in a more absurd way to encourage more people to laugh at me, because it helps me to reach a bigger audience, and it helps me to get paid. So do I still meet the definition of lolcow? I don't care if you think I'm a lolcow or not. As far as I'm concerned, Boogie2988 is the most famous lolcow right now, and according to Billy the Fridge on Drunken Peasants the other day, or no, on Deep Fat Fried the other day, according to Billy the Fridge, Boogie2988 is making fucking doctor money right now. So you calling me a lolcow in my mind is just one more sign that I'm doing something. I'm a beautiful black trans woman and I want more trans on YouTube? Nice. Look at that. That's awesome. Representation is great. Lolcows don't have self-awareness. You know, do they? Do they not? I think it depends on your definition. I don't know, man. I would agree that that's the classical definition. The classical definition of lolcow is a human being that can be made fun of and who is very humorous or something, from which a lot of laughs can be derived. Lols can be milked, in other words, that is not aware about themselves and cannot help it. But I am aware of it, and I specifically do it because I found that it's a useful way to make money and gain attention. It's a fun way to exercise my demons, if you will. I could turn it off at any time. The reason I don't is because it pays well, and it's fun for me. I guess maybe you technically are not then? Well, I would say that I'm especially not, because another big aspect of being a lolcow is that you've got to have some larger community posting about you. As far as I know, I'm not on Kiwi Farms. As far as I know, I'm not on any of the big fucking lolcow sites or anything like that. As far as I know, there's no big creator that covers my content or watches me or anything like that. Like, I know some big creators. Like, I don't, you know, fucking I've never gotten to read off of any of them. Like, Drunken Peasants is subscribed to my channel, and Ben has invited me on multiple times. I've never gotten the impression from Ben that he considers me a lolcow, but I am gonna ask him when I do go on at some point. That's the last thing I would comment about in here. That person must be an asshole to call out vape. They are. It's just a mean thing to be saying, just to piss people off, basically. Well, we're talking about the rapper, right? The one who did Cardboard Crack? Who? Wait, what? What's going on? I don't know. We might not be talking about the same thing. You're not a loud call. You're actually amazing, and I enjoy your live streams. Hopefully someone unlocks the guitar. Hey, does someone want to pay $10 or more to unlock the guitar? That's what she's talking about. Or he, they. I don't know your pronouns. Ben who? Ben from DP. Drinking Peasants Ben. Billy the Fridge. Yeah. Yeah, that's the fucking, yeah. Yeah, there's only one Billy the Fridge. There's only one Billy. And according to Billy the Fridge, Boogie2988's making doctor money. So that was the only reason why we brought up Billy. They're calling me? I'm not Billy. Dude, they're calling me Billy the Fridge? That's just mean. Come on now. Billy weighs twice as much as me, dude. What a mean thing to say about Billy. You really think he's as ugly as I am? What a fucking... You guys are miserable. You guys are pieces of shit. Garbage, every one of you. I find your views hilariously ridiculous, yet you believe them to be legitimate. I mean, like, what views do you find hilariously ridiculous? M. Gibson truths? Because, like, I don't know. I feel like I believe a lot of things that are just pretty, like, standard and fact-based, you know? Like, for example, high-speed rail would be a much more efficient and cost-effective way to transport Americans across America than either flying or road trips would be. A universal healthcare system would be a far more efficient and cost-effective healthcare system than private healthcare as done by insurance companies here in America would be. I don't know. Like, these things are not things I believe because they're like nice and cute to think about. They're things that have borne out when they've been done in other countries. Shembapiro-san, do you support ICE? No. ICE out. ICE out. ICE out. You're here to ask the hard questions? Well, what did you ask, DB? What did you actually ask? Are you getting your penis cut off? I don't know. Like, in theory, I would like to have sex reassignment surgery at some point, but in practicality, like, most people born poor stay poor. And unless the channel takes off in a really crazy way, I don't think I'll pop off at enough to like actually afford that. I'll probably eventually be able to make enough to like afford insurance, but will that insurance include um, sex reassignment surgery? I guess it'll just depend on the insurance package I get. Yeah, it is a really personal question, but I've gotten sick of telling people that I don't want to answer it because it's too personal. I guess I'm just going to tell that person because whatever. It is what it is. Imagine just asking some lady how deep her vagina goes and being like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I know that is such a good fucking comparison. I'm going to have to start using that. Like, would you ask any random woman how deep her vagina is? No. Would you ask any random man how long his penis is? No. So why are you asking me about the details of my genitalia? Why do you think it's appropriate? Like, I wish though. That's the problem. The problem that I feel like trans women especially are in right now is that we can't just tell people like that's creepy. I don't want to answer that. I really would rather not talk about my genitalia because people feel like you're just trying to avoid the question and they just feel like you're being unreasonable. So we're in this like inconvenient position where we have to do something nobody else in society has to do, which is talk about the intimate details of our genitalia to random strangers in order to look like baseline intelligible to normies. It's just lame. Super fucking lame. It'd be different because she'd be a lady. So, would you ask any random man how long his penis is? Hi, Phoebe. I hope your chin is okay. It looks like you got hurt. I just cut myself shaving. Honestly, it looks a lot better than better. It looks a lot worse than it is. It's not infected or anything like that. It's just rough cut. Don't you think that your condition is really a mental abnormality and in the future will be fixed by science? No, because that's not what science says about it, DB. The science says that transgender people are real and valid, and that the condition we are experiencing is called gender dysphoria, and that the cure to it is allowing the person affected to come out as trans and live as the gender they identify as. Maybe at some point our scientific understanding of the phenomenon will change, but as of right now, that's our best understanding of it. How about this? I find the fact that you think you are a woman is very law cow-esque. Why? Like, do you find trans people in general lol cow-esque? Or is it just me? And if it's just me, is it because I've got a deep voice? Because, like, so does your grandma, and she's not a lol cow, you know? Your great aunt probably has a deeper voice than I do. Yes? I asked you two questions, so you're going to have to clarify which one you mean, Gibson. Because I kind of gish galloped you there a little bit. Nick flavor? This is summer strawberry. Don't vape, kids. It's bad for you. This condition will be fixed there before the baby is even started in a test tube where all conditions are favorable for normal humanity. What the fuck makes you think that? One, what makes you think that human beings will ever choose to control their births and deaths and all that so carefully? Two, what makes you think that we will choose a eugenicist path? What benefit would there be to humanity to not having trans people around? I find them all to be somewhat lolcow-esque. I feel like that's just because you like making fun of people and you think, like, you recognize that trans people are the easiest group to make fun of right now because they are the group you can make fun of and get the biggest pop out of, right? Like, not me. I mean, I'm ironclad. You can say whatever you want to me. I don't give a fuck about anybody. Um, but like, the average trans person is going to freak out quite a bit if you say an anti-trans thing. And, you know, you're also not going to get fired from your job probably for saying it. And if you do, you're going to get like a big, rich career in the right-wing media grift. So it's like very, 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 very alluring if you're a person with very little in the way of morals, or if you've got like like a a predisposition towards liking to make fun of people. It's actually really alluring to make fun of trans people because, like I said, nothing's going to happen to you, and you're probably going to get a pretty big freak out of the person you make fun of, usually. It's just like you can't call a black person the N-word in public anymore. And, like back in the day when you could, dude, it was a fucking favorite hobby of small town whites to find the one black person in town and badger them with N-words and slurs until they finally had a come apart. Now that they can't do that without getting away with it, they have simply moved on to trans people. I mean, I think that there's always some group in society that is not only tacitly allowed to be made fun of by like the entirety of the culture, but for whom it is actually kind of profitable, or it's actually kind of profitable to make fun of them. You know, it's been a thing for a while. None of what you just said is reality. That's not actually an argument, Gibson. You're just saying you wrong. None of what you've said this entire stream has been reality. So the future is not androgynous, you fool. We have to keep the population growing. That wasn't the question I asked, DB. I asked what possible harm could become from society allowing trans people, and you have not answered because you have no answer. Your beliefs are based entirely on Hollywood propaganda, says the person who's had nothing but literally internet brain rot to recite in here all night. You're a lolcow obsessive that wants to come at me like you're some kind of medical scientist. My beliefs are rooted in medical consensus. My beliefs are rooted in scientific consensus. You can argue about it all you want. You can disagree with it all you want, but facts don't care about your feelings. And the science is on my side. The medical science is on my side. The history is on my side. On your side, Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, and a wide array of others schizo-posting redneck weirdos across the internet. Yes, they are. Since you just think that nuh-uh is an argument, yuh-huh. Hey, M. Gibson, I know you're saying nuh-uh, but I got a really stellar argument for you. Yuh-huh. Fucking idiot. Is there anyone in this chat that has like a fucking brain cell in their head? Literally, is there a single human being that can talk to me like an adult? Are we capable of it? Because I grew up out of nuh-uh and yuh-huh when I was around 12 years old. Roundabout since then, I felt a distinct need to back up the things that I say with sources, references, and a wide, vast array of knowledge on the subject matter before me. But apparently, little did I know, then you can just go, you wrong, You just said something is true because a lot of people believe it's true? No. I said that something is true because scientific consensus says that it's true. Scientific consensus is not some mythical, magical call to some vague outgroup that fucking out there somewhere. Scientific consensus is a process. Scientific consensus is an idea that is reflective of physical processes, verifiable physical processes. I do what? I'm so confused. What? What are you talking about? Post? I do what? Oh, you're talking to Gibson. Okay. Harrison Ford chin scar. Y'all shut up about my damn chin scar, alright, alright? You just fucking shut up about it already? Nah, it's okay. I get it. One last call for donations before I get out of here. I'm not going to stay on here forever, but if you would like to contribute to this channel, this is a completely audience funded channel. I don't have any sponsorships or anything like that, and I make very little revenue off of the ad streams or the fucking, like, if I occasionally have a product in here, I can fucking chill it, but I don't really fuck with any of that. So what you should do is send a super chat or donate to my Cash App, which is right down below. There's also an affiliate link. You can sign up and you can use my link, and that's really helpful too, if you don't have Cash App already. So I'll stay on here a couple more minutes, but after that, we're going to start heading, fucking wrapping things up and getting ready to go. Donator, you'll burn forever in the fires of hell. That's right, Matt. Matt knows. Matt's been there. Matt's done that. Matt knows what to expect. Listen to Matt. Matt will guide you. You going to a party today? I wish. I fucking wish. Nope, I'm just going to stay home and hate my fucking life, I guess. No, I don't know. I don't hate my life. I'm just fucking, you know, the winds of fate have not blown much in my favor lately. Let's put it that way. What happened? No, it's just, like the last fucking, like 3 weeks worth of shit has just been, it's been a lot. And, I've been out of weed for days. So in a way, it's kind of cool because it's like I'm getting to take a tolerance break. Um, you know, Unprompted though it may be. But on the other hand, it's also just very hard for me to fight brain fog without it. And it's also like a good emotional regulator. That's the other big thing. Honestly, probably even more important than the brain fog is just the fact that with cannabis, I'm not so prone to being a bitch. It's not even that. It's just like I have never found a more effective medication for making me not bitchy. I know that sounds awful, but I feel like I am like I genuinely feel like such a zeal for life when I'm stoned. And for hours afterwards too. It just generally seems to be good for my mental health. DB has had a lot of personal shit going on, and I don't know a single American who isn't going through it right now. Yeah, I think you're 100% right, Riley. And yeah, I have had a lot of personal shit going on too. I wasn't even going to bring that up, but yeah, I mean, like, I've been kind of like single parenting, like I get a week, then my ex gets a week or whatever, ever since November. So living on, one less income, part of the fucking stress. Donations in January were anemic, and I couldn't stream for a whole week, so I couldn't make any money. I don't know. It's just the way it's going, I guess. Is this some sort of withdrawal? I don't really think so. I think I'm past the withdrawal stage. I just don't have, like, I just don't have as much zeal for life without it. I mean, one of the reasons why I took to weed so readily is because it turned me from feeling despondent like 90% of the time and happy 10% of the time to happy 90% of the time and despondent 10% of the time. I mean, that ratio is just fucking crazy. You know, like, I'm not trying to say I never had any happy moments before I found weed. I'm trying to say that, like, I used to be very prone to just long stretches of, like, depressed, detached sadness. And even when I was feeling better, there was a lack of immediacy to my happiness that weed has always been very good at correcting. Nah, that's okay. I'm fine. I'm getting through it. It'll all work out eventually. I have a similar relationship with cannabis. You'll see. I'm not the only one. You may say I'm a pothead, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world can smoke as one. Imagine all the blunts being rolled at once. What about an athlete speaking out? Yeah, so the American Olympics team basically sounded like Nazi refugees talking about how it feels to represent America at this late date and time. Talking about, like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really horrible stuff happening in America, and it's not the best feeling in the world to be representing um, America at the games. But you know what? Hopefully, people will see the good fighting people of Minneapolis, and they will see the working spirit of Americans, and they'll see the good things that we stand for, and not our horrible, awful president. Also, JD Vance got booed at the Olympics, which I thought was pretty neat. That's what the Secret Shopper program does, but I don't know if weed is it. You basically rate the product. Dude, I have thought for fucking years about how cool it would to be a bud tender. Not even like a super fucking crazy weed professional, just like a bud tender. Because even if you were a bud tender, at that point you would have a financial customer service incentive to try a bunch of different fucking strains of weed, all the new shit when it comes in. Obviously, you still have to pay for it, but you'd have an incentive to try it. I'll be a shill for a weed shop. Oh, dude, I would love it. I would fucking love it so much. Oh, I'd love it so much. Don't even think about it, Phoebe. Man, I will just sit here and fantasize all goddamn night long about moving off somewhere. It's been over 2 years since I've set foot in New Mexico, but I would be lying if I said that it didn't still call every day. Did you see the USA female skater who came out as queer and people were sending her social media messages? No, I did not, actually. I just think about it sometimes, dude. There are some shops in my area I could apply at. I'm probably not going to get a job there, but um, I don't even know if I'd want to be working a like traditional job while I'm doing this. It probably would be good for the income, honestly, because fucking shit's been tight in January, and hopefully shit won't be as tight this month. But um, point is, around here it wouldn't even be that fucking cool because you have it works different up here or down here, however you want to say it. But it would be cool to move to a state that's got like really cool dispensaries with like a ton of choice and like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a big selection. No, I just mean like, you know, working 9 to 5. It's all taking and no giving. I don't know. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. Do you feel like you're settling by taking over the farm? You often speak of wanting to move, yet also note the land ownership becomes along with your parents' deaths. God, horrible way to put it. Um, yeah, I do feel conflicted about it sometimes. Like, I think that that's just kind of natural because I'm kind of like wanderlusty. But part of it's because this land isn't honestly that good. Like, I love the idea of having something that's mine. And I love the idea of this is such a complicated thing to get through. A lot of times when I'm talking about moving, the thing I'm reaching towards more than anything is just living in a state that's not Mississippi, to be honest with you. I think I would not be so desirous of moving. I don't think I would talk about it nearly as much if I lived in, like, if this land was in a state like Missouri or New Mexico or something like that. Because number one, just utterly in love with New Mexico, but number two, it does have way better fucking laws than are down here. Like, there's actually protections for trans people in New Mexico. There's like weed legal, and weed is legal in Mexico. You can grow your own in New Mexico. Like et cetera, et cetera. Um, Legally, it's a place I would prefer to be. Culturally, it's a place I would prefer to be, and geographically, I love it. My favorite state in the union by far. But pragmatically, I do see the pragmatic need to have a place, at least for now, to settle down and be in one place. And the gratification that I get from seeing the land improve is real. I just wish it was under different auspices, I suppose. Can you grow your own there? No. That's one of the reasons why I dislike Mississippi is because you cannot grow your own even if you have a medical card. Yeah, that's why it feels restrictive even if it's not technically, you know? One of the reasons why it... Yeah, I'm rural. Hella rural. Ask Glitch how fucking rural I am. I could see Phoebe in New Mexico. Dude, I would be welcome there. Amethyst just said so. Yeah, I've been to New Mexico. I was well liked out there, from what I could tell. I mean, everybody I interacted with seemed to think I was pretty neat and fun to be around and all that. I made friends. It's pretty much the only state that I made friends in, actually. I mean, like, that lasted. And I bet I would again, man. Man. Oh, I love that fucking state, and I can't even illustrate how much I love it. There's just something about it that is beautiful. Like, I like so many different things about it that's hard for me to put my finger on exactly what it is that I'm capturing in my sentiment. Like, I love the fact that it is so widespread, like so spread wide out. I don't know how to put it. Like, houses are not all that close to each other unless you're in a village or something like that, or a town, in which case everything is very close together. You know, towns are... even though New Mexico has the room for tons and tons of urban sprawl, they don't really engage in that much of it, actually. Like, it's not that they're like building up, it's just that the cities don't get that big. I don't know if it's because, like, as soon as a city gets big enough, they just like split through osmosis or whatever and turn into two cities or what, but you know, like, you look at Ruidoso, for example. Ruidoso is like two little towns or three little towns all next to each other. One of them's not, two of them aren't named. There's like Ruidoso and then Ruidoso Downs, and then there's Altapalo or something. I don't remember what it's called. But three little towns just all real close to each other. And once you get out of the city limits, like, there's not endless miles of fucking strip malls and gas stations and bullshit like that. There's just kind of a rugged, undeveloped feel to New Mexico that I'm just addicted to and love. Yeah, I would love Colorado too. It depends on the area, but I would be big. I would be fucking big on Colorado for sure. Oh, oh God. Fuck. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'll see y'all around some other time.